TGRO, Tiger Oil and Energy. They have a verified profile, September 2021. We're going to talk about the week ending this last Friday of September 10th, 2021. They ran up. They opened at 0001. Their previous close at 0002, and they ran up to a 0004. With Tiger Oil and Energy, they're in Kansas. They're an oil and gas company that's engaged in exploration and development and redevelopment of oil and gas fields in the United States. When you take a look at them, these are their numbers from August. They're still showing outstanding shares, restricted shares, their total authorized shares. So when you start looking at outstanding shares and unrestricted shares, and you look at floats, these numbers become important when you look at companies that you're investing in sometimes. What is a restricted stock? Restricted stock refers to unregistered shares of ownership in a corporation that are issued to corporate affiliates such as executives and directors. When we come back here, this shows 182,239,000 plus. So when we look at the 5 billion outstanding shares, and then we have down here 5 billion unrestricted, when you go into every publicly traded company issues shares. Shares outstanding refers to the total number of shares a company has issued, while the public float, also referred to as floating shares, or the float, are shares that are publicly owned, unrestricted, and available to the open market. When we take a good look at that, we can see that we had a lot of green candles coming across, and we were laying up the board pretty good. When you look at how many people were selling off at the level they were compared to the amount of people buying, that starts to push up that price. So as the volume increased on the buy and the demand was there, but the supply was no longer, the price started to come back up. When we take a look at the monthly, we can kind of see where it dropped down, and we had a big sell-off there. A few people we started getting a tight squeeze. So as people sold off to buy back up, we had a major buyback in this last week to bring it back up. We had a big shark buy-in, bought 50 million at 0003, and that had a big increase in there. We can kind of see a section where they probably got in on. Next Friday should be some pretty good money coming off of this stock. It should definitely rise up. I would think that it might double the triple where it was this last Friday if the rate continues. When we take a look at stuff at the year, we can see that where they were, they might have came down, but we're still above where they were a year ago, and where it was starting to trend back up. If we go back into another trajectory like we did last year, all those bars and all those lines will continue to raise. You'll see it go back up, and it will have to come back down again at some point. But how far up it goes and where it holds at this next level will be something that we'll just have to see. And when it rises that way, and when it rises, that's the big question right now. The September deadline is the 28th, so you still have a couple weeks left where it can float through and go through some resistance barriers a little bit back and forth, but the demand stays up. This shows where we sit currently, and that comes down to financials. With the financials, we hadn't reported since 2008. On September 1st, They reported the 2019 and 2020 financial statements. We're waiting on the 2021 financial statements to be uploaded. Once those get uploaded and they become current, you can see this price rise a little bit more. So as all these factors start to come into play, the demand and supply, and then you look at financial reports and where they sit and what the financial reports read when they come in, they'll all come into play as keys on how this stock does and where it goes to. When a stock is heavily shorted and investors are buying shares, which pushes the price up. Short sellers start buying to cover their position and minimize losses as the price keeps rising. This can create a short squeeze. Short sellers keep having to buy the stock, pushing the price up. I believe we saw that this last week. I believe that with TGRO, they hit their low and now they're on that bounce back. So signs that penny stock is about to rise. Watch the money. Watch how the money's flowing. Spikes in trading volume. The higher highs, the higher lows. The product or the industry. So stock prices change every day by market forces. If more people want to buy a stock, that's the demand. Then sell it, supply. Then the price moves up. Conversely, if more people want to sell a stock than buy it, there would be a greater supply than demand, and the price would fall. In this case, we're seeing a greater demand than supply, and it's starting to rise. The sector we're in is energy, industry, oil and gas, integrated. In the United States, TGRO, it owns interest in oil and gas wells located in Creek County, state of Oklahoma. Its other projects are located in Kansas location. As we look at a graph for this next week, heading into what could be a little bit of a run, we sit at 0004. And I think we're going to go through the resistance to break through and head towards the 0006, 0008. And then we could get up to be towards 0012 at the top. And then we'll be back to where we took that hard fall. I think in this week to come, they can overcome and step back as demand continues to climb. If most of the sellers are holding and most of the people that wanted to sell are out and the demand keeps rising, the people that are holding are trying to buy more and looking for platforms to buy more on before they come current, then you'll continue to see this rise as well. Right now on some platforms you can only sell off. So as people are searching out platforms to buy more on, this will rise. And if it rises and it rocketed up, I could see this coming back to where it was. Looking at the 6-month graph going back, it could definitely rise up past that 0012 towards that 0017. I think we'll have a little resistance line in there. And then as it breaks the 0017, I think we will probably hit another resistance line around 0025. And then once we head up and break the 0033, we'll be heading back up towards that 52-week. And if it could rocket, it could possibly go up towards that 005. On the 52-week, their high was a 0043. Right now, we're at a 0001 to a 0004 for days range. If we can bump that and you go over the next couple weeks, by the time the September 28th deadline comes, they become current, you could definitely see this stock rise back over the 52-week range, which hit the 0043. When you step back and look in time at a 5-year graph going back to 2017, this company was at a 0.04, so being at 4 cents in 2017. When we step back and look 10 years back to 2013, they were up over $1. So right now, for a penny stock that you can get into that could possibly turn into a dollar stock, you could get some pretty good returns if this came back to full fruition of possibilities of what it could be. But it's all about the pop and when it's going to happen. That's the big question. Make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you check with all your research. Continue to do your research. Continue to stay up on your stocks. Watch them daily. Make sure you check with the right sources if you're investing in platforms. If you're going to invest, make sure you can invest and buy the stocks you're looking at buying, and that you don't invest in a platform to find out that you're unable to buy that stock and that stock's being restricted from being bought on there. Make sure you just continue to do your research and due diligence. Remember, I'm just a blue-collar worker. I'm not a stock advisor, not a stockbroker. I'm just paying it forward for people trying to build a portfolio for their future. Put some information out there about stocks. So continue to be diversified. Continue to work on your portfolio daily and invest in yourself. Investing in yourself is key. The biggest knowledge and takeaway is just your knowledge and your education that you learn, and the more you learn, the better you'll be towards the future with diversifying your portfolio, and continue on that path of investment in yourself. I hope everyone has a good week ahead.